you fed that thing. I was like, oh, I guess it is. I don't know, maybe. But that thing was literally shaped like a, with those juicers that have the things that go on. It was the exact same size. It looked exactly like one of those things.
How many did you grow, or was it just that one?
It was just that one off that one plant that produced that thing. Whatever that is. Okay, let's go. Let's go down.
Was it in the power spot?
Yeah, it was probably on the power spot. Actually, now that I think about it, let's go over to here, Noni.
Oh, there's that.
Good friend of mine, Chinese medical doctor. She is a genius. When she was a child, all her family realized this girl's a genius. We've got to give they put all the money they had. She's a peasant child from China. From the Xi'an region. They gave her everything they had, all the money they had, to get her into a school in the Western world. They got her into UC Berkeley, where she got a PhD in physics. She went back to China, built an herbal empire, distribution empire, decided that she'd rather move to Hawaii to grow noni, turned the whole operation over to her family, and went to Hawaii and has been growing noni and producing noni products, and has one product out in the market right now from her Chinese distribution engine back in China called Pearl Seum. Pearl, like made out of pearls.
Right.
That stuff's ridiculous.
Pearl.
It's pearls crushed to a powder. And they figured out how to extract the pearl without killing the oyster, so the oyster in its lifetime produces 3, 4, or 5 pearls. And each succeeding time, it's a better quality pearl. Yeah, it's like the deer antler stuff. It's like, stuff that's like kind of in that zone. Anyway, so this noni plant, I've been growing, that's why we call it noni line. We've been growing about 100 noni trees there. And in every part of the tree, the bark, the leaves, the root, bark, the flowers, and the actual fruit itself, there is some serious stuff going on. We know the polysaccharide fraction of aloe vera is like 24% of the matter weight of the plant. In the noni fruit, it's like 36%. So we know that, right, from David Hudson's work, okay, the polysaccharide fraction is where the Ormus is sitting. So we've been feeding the noni plants everything, the whole shoot match. We wanted to get mana over from the Big Island over to us, right, because the mana is coming out of that spoon out of that volcano. That's all. There's so much Ormus coming out of that volcano. Some of the best left on this earth. This old crone that we call the earth. Right? This earth is old. It's like its glory days are long gone. Right? When it was like full on, like mana coming out of its ears. And now we are like here, and if we're clever enough, and this is a metaphor, if we're clever enough at any age, we can completely flip onto what the real story is, which is, where is the action? Let's get on the action instead of the pizza pie. Let's get on this stuff. And this stuff automatically drives out the other stuff because it's so much higher. It tastes better, and there's no side effects. In fact, the side effects are all good. When people say, what about a flu? I just got to put this out there. It's got to be said. If anybody in this room is getting the flu, colds, coughs, fevers, any of that ever, you're on the wrong technology. You're seriously on the wrong technology. You're seriously on the wrong information. Based on what we have access to, you could go and walk into a health food store, spend $30, and there's a bottle of 90 capsules of reishi mushroom, just starting out that simple. Take the whole bottle in one day. I guarantee you that will knock out anything for $30. What's a doctor's visit cost? Right? Just that. I mean, the level of where the actual conventional discourse is on nutrition versus where it is really at, that tension between those worlds is radical now. Because I've been a raw foodist for 15 years, and I've been running it to the edge, to the nth degree, and this is where we arrive now. We're taking the most powerful plants on this earth, noni, aloe vera, spirulina, blue-green algae, marine phytoplankton, goji berry, maca, cacao, the super herbs, all the mushrooms, shaga, everything. And we're doing the best thing we can to get as much Ormus into those things as we possibly are able to do. And the effect of it is nuts. And then, like, we make a tea. What's that? Vortrapped water. In fact, what kind of Vortrapped water? 7 times spiraled quadruple Vortrapped. Coming off a real spring. Not some well. Not a well. A real spring. Like where it's coming out of the ground. And then that's your tea. That's your teapot. And then all that other stuff that we had in there, the mushrooms, all those things out of the forest, everything goes in there. You start drinking that stuff, we just laugh. We're rolling around the floor. it really. Because it's like, where are we really going with all this? We have cracked the secret of the common cold, of course. If you have no parasites in your system, you cannot have a cold. It's impossible. Under any circumstances. People say, what if you're awake for 3 days? The decoupling of the collapsing from lack of energy due to not sleeping and separating that from our immune system, a very powerful phenomenon. Where, like from where I'm at, I can go 3 days without sleeping and not even get a hint of ever getting a cold. That's the facts. That's where we're at.
Don't you mean anti-parasitic then?
Where is it? It's right here. This technology, right here. Little technology like that, where it right there. Whenever, yeah.
What is it?
Here, it's a zapper.
Oh, electric zapper.
Yeah. Okay, so
And then the Ormus Gold.
I can do a whole thing on this right here, just that, right? Yeah, and then Ormus Gold topically, I mean, I saw an incurable situation where the guy was near suicide from pain and disruption and the overall just, troubles of even walking. In 4.5 months, go to total perfect health just from Ormus Gold only. That's it, topical, only. Nothing in his diet really changed. I mean, he eats raw food, but he likes beer and cigarettes, so whatever. Cool.
Just apply once a day.
Applied 2 to 5 times a day. My liquid Ormus. I don't know. I love everything that's out there. I take all Ormus products because they all have something to give. But this was particularly this specific product.
Is that the Bob Beck design, or?
No, this is Don Croft's design. WorldWithoutParasites.com.
Oh, okay.
Good price too.
That must be a stronger zapper.
Here's where we are. We got to get to this. You ready for this? Because when we get onto this immune system thing, I say it because I want you to be shocked. I want you to be really shocked because we got to get with a deprogram, right? If the solution is complicated, we're done for. Period. If the solution is complicated, we're done for. Forget about it. Or it's what, like George Orwell said. He said this. He said, weapons that require 5,000 people to produce, huge manufacturing facilities, governments to fund, are by their nature weapons of terrorism. Like a battleship, like a nuclear weapon, like a missile. However, folk technology and weapons that can be created right in your garage or your backyard are by their nature weapons of freedom. Because they empower the common person against whatever's out there. Right? So this is also with technology. This is a weapon of freedom. Because it empowers you as a common person to go out there and actually, I have taken every anti-parasitical herb in the world. I've actually, out of any human being in this earth, I've eaten the best food on the whole planet for the last 15 years, out of any human being on the whole world. That's the facts. Now, I've taken every anti-parasitical herb, everything. One night I had a healing from a very dear friend of mine, Howard Wills, who's a very powerful psychic, John of God level psychic. And one thing that happened was I got a powerful download like, because Howard said, it's going to keep working on you. Watch what happens. So a couple weeks later, I'm in my office in San Diego. It was about 4 years ago. And I had this little voice said, get that zapper out. Start using it all the time, every day, nonstop. I thought, I've never done that. So I started doing that. All day long, nonstop, every day. Driving in a car, boom, right there. In an airport, get in the plane, boom. I'm right there. I'm reaching in my backpack under the seat. Look, it's black. No one can see. Pull the thing right there. No one even sees it. Does this look like a bomb to you? I mean, it's got a blinking light, right? It's got this. I mean, what else would this be, right? They never tell. I mean, the guys stand there, look at it, they go, oh, okay, put it back. It's crazy. I mean, this is the kind of world we live in. I mean, I fly every week, all over the world, every week. Yeah, 3 times out of 100. They've asked me what it is. I said, it's a Schumann resonance device. When I'm flying, it keeps me from getting jet lag. And they're like, oh, okay. So I get in the plane, boom. I'm there for 6 hours, 7 hours, 5 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is. It's zapping me. I'm doing nothing. Do you like stuff? I love shit like that. I mean, I don't. It's like it's working. I don't have to do anything. That's where I'm at with it.
Cool.
Anyway,
Thank you. That was a fascinating answer to my question.
you know this whole thing. Like people say, "Oh my God."